Hi friends, it is Tuesdays with Tonya. I'm Tonya here with My County Link, and today's episode is brought to you by Brendan King, Sales Associate with Wetzel Honda in Richmond, Indiana. And today we are at Richland Gardens Center right here on 36. It is just west of Arcanum Bears Mill Road. Make sure you come and check it out. Today we're going to be talking about some different flowers, that you can learn about to better keep them going well. If you hear some people say, I'm not a green thumb or that type of thing, I've got some great tips for you. So here we go. Look how beautiful these flowers are. I'm specifically going to be talking to you about the sun patience and then also the begonias. The begonias to me just look like silk flowers. They're absolutely amazing. And then we're going to talk about potted plants and ferns as well. So I've got some great information for you. So now also, before we kind of dig into this, and I'll remind you at the end as well, but this week, everything is 35% off. So it's a great time to come in and finish out those pots and so forth. Your bedding, just all those types of things that you want to do your flowers. Now just a couple exclusions. Roses and perennials are going to be 20% off. And then fern baskets are set price at $11.75. So they're already at their lowest. $11.75 for fern baskets. 20% off of roses and perennials, and then all other flowers and vegetable plants and everything are 35% off. So great time to pop in here and tell them Tonya sent you. So I'm going to talk to you about these super patience, the begonias, and the ferns. So one thing, I'll kind of put it back here behind me here. One thing about the super patience over here is that they bloom all the time, okay? And they're really easy to take care of. So they stay nice and in bloom. And a couple of things about them are they're a little bit larger than your regular impatiens. Like the flowering is a little bit larger than that. And they, ironically, are for sun or shade. So if you love these beautiful, these are the sun patients, sorry. If you love these beautiful, vibrant colors, you have a porch that doesn't get a lot of sun, this is a great option for you because they take sun or part shade. So these beautiful flowers can be anywhere, okay? Now, let's step back over here to these begonias. Begonias are beautiful. They are just, to me, they look like silk flowers. They almost look like they're not real, but yet they are. So now begonias are a little bit temperamental. So if you've ever had begonias and you're like, oh, I didn't do very well with them and I love them, I don't know what I did wrong. So they are a little temperamental. They don't require the same amount of water as the other plants, okay? So always know, what does your plant require? Is it sun? Is it part shade? Is it shade? And what kind of watering does it require? You don't want it to get dry by any means, but it is not a flower that requires the same amount of water as others. And the cool thing about begonias is they stay bloomed all summer long until frost. So if you're like me, I like my flowers to be bright and vibrant and stay blooming. Begonias are going to be your friend for that. They bloom all the way until it frosts. Now let's talk about ferns. So let me, I've got one down here. Let me turn around. So ferns, for example, you want to make sure that you keep them, as far as their soil and so forth, nice and, damp, as you want to keep all your soil. However, ferns, you also want to spray the leaves. So the leaves on the ferns is how they get their water. So you still have to water them. You still have to keep their soil nice and moist like you would all your other flowering pots and so forth. You definitely don't want to make sure that you are spraying the leaves as well, because that's where they get their water from. And of course, you can always do research on different plants and so forth. Now, a cool thing that I was here talking to them about is, potted flowers especially, those types of things, you want to make sure that they're getting enough water, because they will absorb water much more than what's in the soil. Because, in the ground, soil is still a little damp underneath. So when you're in a pot like that, they don't get the same amount of moisture. So you want to make sure that you're keeping them nice and watered. And if you're not so sure, a great way to do that is just kind of pick it up. Is it real light? If it's light, it needs water ASAP, right? And if it's got some weight to it, that means that the water is still staying nice in the soil for the flowers. So I'm just going to kind of walk over here a little bit, and I want to highlight the begonias a little more, because the vibrant of colors of these begonias and these super patience over here is amazing. So let me turn around. Check these out. Sorry for the fans. Let me kind of walk down a little farther from the fans. But look at this one. all these vibrant colors. They're beautiful. Yellows, they got hot pinks and reds. Gorgeous. How beautiful are they? And then up here is your super patience. So you can see the flowering is a little bit larger than a regular impatient, and then they stay bloomed as well. And there's the super patients are the ones that can go in the shade or full sun. And then here is your begonias. Now, let's pull a begonia thing here because, oh no, that's a super patient. Sorry, let me pull a begonia one. When we read about a begonia, it says that they're great in baskets, landscapes, or combination planters, and they color the shade. So you want to be kind of cautious with them. You want to keep these guys in shade. They're not meant to be in full sun. Neither are ferns. They are not meant to be in full sun. Your super patients and that type of thing, they're a little more tolerable of sun. But your begonias and your ferns are part shade. You do not want to put them straight out in the sun. It would be quite hard on them. I know a lot of people put their ferns like on porches and stuff just to kind of get that covering a little bit, and you'll just get a better flowering from that. Or not, I shouldn't say flowering for ferns, but the ferns will live better than being in full sun. And begonias are definitely one that you want to make sure that you have in part shade, and you will have these gorgeous flowering the whole time. So stick with me as we keep visiting people, places, and things. And again, a big thank you to Brendan King with Wetzel Honda in Richmond, Indiana. Make sure you go check him out over there. He is our sponsor for Tuesdays with Tonya. Richland is right here. The Richland Gardens Center is right here again on 36, and they got that big sale this week. So make sure you come by and check them out. Keep visiting people, places, and things with me as we keep exploring Darke County. So we'll see you next time.